Somebody's watching me. Hey, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Guten Morgen, as I would like to say. How art thou this morning? I am Jackie Glass, mama, Navy vet, certified doer just like you, giving you a chance to get in and get on here. Um, it is Tuesday. That's a lie. My body feels like it's Tuesday, and it's definitely not Tuesday. But it's Thursday. That's why we're here. Let me turn off this fan so y'all can hear me, or at least I feel like I can hear myself. It's Thursday, April 3rd. Listen, we're in the second quarter of this year. Okay. I just want to say that out loud. Good morning. We are in the second quarter of 2025, and I don't know how we got here, but we here. We here now. And today, I didn't introduce them. I'm Jackie Glass, mama, Navy vet, certified doer, and the laced up legislator for the House of Delegates, 93rd District. Honored to serve. Grateful to be here. Glad y'all joined. I hope y'all came here for a little bit of inspiration today. I hope y'all came here because you want to figure out how they do that. Do that. What's next? I don't know if I did. Okay. If I did not, is it is again an honor and a privilege. There we go. Did I freeze? Am I here? Can y'all see me? Am I good to go? Am I here? If you could give me a thumbs up in the chat to make sure like I'm still here. Let's see what we got. Make sure that I'm still here. I'm gonna make sure that let's go. I didn't mean for y'all to lose me. There we go. All right, let's get in it today. Not even playing. So what I wanted to do this morning was a couple different things. I talk about last night. Last night I was in Richmond. Good morning, daughter. Last night I was in Richmond, and we worked till almost 9 o'clock on the people's business. We were tackling the governor's amendments and vetoes. And if everything goes well, if everything goes well, a bill that I've been working on since I've been in the legislature, false interrogations to youth during false statements and false documents used with youth during interrogation may be signed into law. And I'm gonna just tell y'all that is a whole win for justice. And that matters so much. What I want to do today is talk about why all of this work matters, because I think what I've been seeing from folks is like we need solutions, and I think there is also an understanding between us that actually, what is on your mind this morning? Please don't forget to put that in the chat. If you got something that you feel like is on your heart that's important, all that good stuff, go ahead and put it in the chat, por favor. Let me know. But when we talk about action, right, I think there is a lot of folks asking, like, how do I get active? How do I get into it? Y'all, protests are important because it kind of shows the resistance is alive. It shows it's kicking. It's legal battles. They're the front line of defense to our Constitution. And then like educating our citizens is us passing the torch on so they can see how these systems are meant to work. We've got a lot of work to do. And the biggest part where I think we play a part is thinking about community economics. How do we support our local business and local initiatives? How do you be a convener in your community? Because throughout history, people have done some incredible things um, uh, credible things to preserve their republic, to preserve their democracy. Think about the organizing of sit-ins, the creating of underground networks, even keeping faith when times were tough. Um, and it's that sort of undying American spirit that keeps us going. And I do not want us to give too much credit. I don't want to give us too much credit to the actors in this play, because I think I've said that, because it is up to us. It's up to us to be the authors of the future. But what I do want to do, because I think it'll be really helpful and important to sort of roll through, and y'all tell me, because remember, this is your time. This is not my time. This is your time in the morning to connect. And I know sometimes I get up here and I get going, so I want to make sure that that you have the opportunity to sort of make that connection as well. So let's go through history. And as I said again, I want you to drop in the comments the feeling that you have right now. I woke up this morning, and I felt this. I'm gonna just tell you, I woke up this morning, I felt tired because we were in Richmond yesterday. But I want to do that. I read, I try to not stay in the comments, but I read some of the comments and I hear people like, so what now, what we supposed to be doing? That's nice. That's cute that you say all this stuff, but what we supposed to be doing? Let me give some examples, right? Where am I at? All right. Anybody ever heard of Ella Baker? If you heard of Ella Baker, drop a thumbs up in the chat. Drop something in chat if you've heard of her. Have you? Because we're going to roll through history. So listen, if you have not heard of Ella Baker, okay, so Ella Baker, she was not chasing the mic, okay? She was building the mic stand for everybody else to speak. She is a person that reminded us, and I'm going to tell you what she did. She reminded us that strong people don't need strong leaders. They need strong systems. So I'm hoping we find our inspiration. And if something comes to you, look, I'm not going to sit here and claim to know all the answers, but I'm going to say that with some of these big brains in this room, we got some things we can do. So what Homegirl did is she organized from the back so that the next generation could sort of lead from the front. And today we sort of do that, hopefully making room to mentor young voices, and decentralizing power, because you ain't got to be a star to shine. With Ella, man, okay. So she was a civil rights organizer. Like in the United States in the 1960s, she was a civil rights organizer. She was a behind the scenes strategist. She helped build grassroots movements like the Students Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. This was during the civil rights era. It was in the South, especially in Mississippi and North Carolina. She did this because she believed in a participatory democracy and the idea that everyday people should also have power. How she did it, right? How did she do it? She organized the young people. She trained them. She made space for their leadership. What that should signal us to today is that we also have to build spaces for youth voices, mentor others, and decentralize leadership in youth organization in the community. So if you've got a heart and a spirit, if you're in this moment, like, I don't even know what to do, these young people, blah, 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 blah. Okay, take Ella Baker and put her in the back of your mind. Okay. Oh, I love this. I love this. Alicia said, I wrote about her in her bachelor's thesis. Listen, put her in your mind. Right. If you are a person that says, I am looking for ways to organize young people, Ella Baker is a place that you can turn to. Start looking her up and then turn to today, right? But what we need to put in today is that building those spaces. Who's going to build those spaces in this moment? So also there is this thing called the White Rose Movement. Have y'all heard of the White Rose Movement? This happened in Germany, 1942 to 1943. So there were some university students, there's two to be exact, Sophie and Hans Scholl. I want to say Scholz, Schcoll. What they did during the time of unrest is they secretly distributed anti-Nazi leaflets, right? again, this was during the Nazi regime in Munich. They did it to speak out against fascism, violence, loss of freedoms. So they use what they did, and it's maybe this is your thing too. They use writing, they use literature, and they use anonymous organizing to wake people up. Is this your thing? Because today we do need people writing, using social media and art to challenge the injustice and to encourage civic thought. Is that your thing? Can you do that? So just take, and in this time, imagine being a college student who decides like, nah, I'm not staying quiet. Sophie and Hans, they're out here typing up anti-Nazi leaflets. And this is called the White Rose Movement. Take a look at it. They didn't need to permission. They didn't wait for it. They risked it all because the truth matters more than comfort. And today, our words will still move people on the mic, in a tweet, through a poem. Are you that person that wants to use your voice? Are you that person that want to use your voice before someone else tries to own it? Because that's the space that we're at. Using your voice before somebody else tries to own it. Okay. This name I'm going to butcher, right? These are examples. And if you've got examples of people that you can think about in history that have moved in trying times, drop them in the chat. I want to share them because I think we are in a place where we need to be inspired, right? It's so inspired. And I'm looking, let me go to the comments before I go to the next one. Yeah. Kristen Wheeler says, feeling disconnected and cynical, honestly, trying to stay positive, especially when the renewal of spring. Yeah. Just feel mostly disappointed in people's apathy, and it's starting to seem into your soul. I assure you, the apathetic people are also challenging themselves. What I've seen in this moment too is people that I didn't normally see challenging the norms, being a part of the stuff, or even politically or civically involved, sort of step in and say, "Whoa, I can't sit there. Like, I don't know what to do." Like, they want to just talk about what's happening, which is unusual, highly unusual for these people to even engage and have this kind of, like folks that I know that's like, I don't do that stuff. They're talking about it. That is a beautiful thing. That is a good thing. So be encouraged that more people's eyes have awakened. It's just the what now. Daniel said, I've been helping manage some wetland projects around Norfolk this week, 2 days in Lafayette Park, pulling weeds, planting grasses, shrubs, putting down pine straw. Today we're doing some work. Oh, wow, on the shoreline. Tomorrow we're living. Yeah, man. This is the work. This is the work, and lots of others coming up, because I imagine not only are you doing something for the world, for the ground, quite literally for the ground, you're also sparking some joy, which is a part of what you cannot lose in this moment. We cannot lose that in this moment. And it can feel like you're talking into a solo cup. I know, I feel like that sometimes, but remember, over time, to get where we are, there have been these little things around the world, because this isn't just America, right? Like, we don't stand as we do because of us. It is because not the geopolitical situations, right? What has been happening in the world, and how they have moved, and how we have responded, and how we have moved, and how they have responded as well. So let's go to the Czech Republic in 1989. It's a Václav. I know I'm saying his wrong, Havel, and it's a VACLAVHAVEL. Václav Havel. Okay, Czech Republic, 1989. Oh, Taylor Swift year, right? Or something like that. She had an album called that. So Václav, he was a playwright, and he turned his dissent. He turned dissent. Wait a minute. What I'm trying to say. He was a playwright, turned dissent into president. Couldn't get it out. Gosh, thank Jackie. So what Havlov did in the Czech Republic is he led this nonviolent resistance against the Soviet rule. It was during the Velvet Revolution out there. Czechoslovakia, which is now the Czech Republic, to restore democracy and human rights. And how did he do it? He used art, he used intellect, he used public gatherings to mobilize citizens. Today, that can look like creative culture, right? We can create a civic culture. through poetry, through theater. Maybe you need to create a newsletter, public dialogue, connect with people beyond party lines. That is a whole thing. I'll say this is, how does man turn to president? Come on. It is that, it's the dream of a civic artist. Someone who can take a pen, put it to paper, and change the it just sort of completely changed the menu. Havel didn't shout, right? He did not shout. He reflected, he built community, he used art to bring people back to themselves, because I think that speaks to a little bit of what I'm seeing over here with what Kristen said. It's like, how do we get people back to themselves, right? Getting people back to themselves. And we can do that too. I know I can host town halls. I know I can keep writing my newsletter. I know that there's spaces where we can curate exhibits. Culture can carry resistance when politics gets too loud. I'm going to say that again, because that's what's going to keep us honest here. Culture can carry resistance when politics gets too loud. It's a fact. It has been foretold, and it has been seen over time. Over time, it has been used to separate and to connect, right? These are the things. So I'm gonna check the comments. Brian says that was CBS, the Chesapeake Bay Foundation. Also, yeah, Kristen Wheeler, any updates on summer school? I will have updates on summer school for certified doers. That's where we get you in the know about all the things and how to take next steps. Summer school will not be until late summer. As I said yesterday, I just got back from Richmond. We just finished the work of a session. Once we get our venue down, then we'll be able to share with you where summer school will be. We're launching some things. I don't want to say things out loud that aren't going to happen, but we're launching some other things that'll help us level up summer school. So just staying by. Summer schools happen June, July timeframe as well. Good morning, Miss Roslyn. I also see over here, what do I see? Jen Strong on Instagram says, I've been thinking about Harvey Milk, Black Panthers, Native Americans, and took some inspiration by reading Ross Gray's books, also looking into Loretta Ross and her calling in. Great examples. Great examples. I'll come back to the US. So we've been to the South, we've been to the Czech Republic, we've been to Nazi Germany. We'll come back to the United States. Fannie Lou Hamer, I've got 10 examples. Sharecropper turned voting activist, right? She helped Mississippi, the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party during the Jim Crow era. And she did this to change the exclusion of Black folks from political participation. How'd she do it? She registered voters. She told her story. She held America accountable. What does that look like today? We got a gubernatorial. If you're in Virginia, we have a gubernatorial election. Help register voters. Tell your story in public. Those feelings you're having, I am feeling, and I love this, and I love the vulnerability that Kristen showed here. Like, I'm going to put this back up on screen. I feel disconnected. I feel cynical, and I'm trying to stay positive. But like, publicly, what people are looking for is folks to connect to. Like, yeah, I'm feeling that, and I too want to do something. I too need to make that step. And think about this for Fannie Lou. Fannie Lou, she didn't ask nobody's permission to be powerful. She said, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. That's where we got that from, right? And then did something about it. She showed up in Mississippi when showing up would cost her life. She pushed her way into the Democratic Party and made it deal with its own reflection. Can't we say that is that not present day? And today, we challenge what isn't working. We register our people. We make a bigger table, or we build our own. These are the very things that need to happen. What Fannie Lou did is the reckoning that I think needs to happen in the political environment right now. Yes. Strawberry Moment says, Culture, oh, you say, oh, you're repeating, culture can carry resistance when politics gets too loud. Absolutely. Strawberry Monster said, thank you. Oh, I'm doing my best. Thank you for representing us. I am doing my best. Is anyone going to march on Saturday? Oh, yes. So there is a march happening Saturday at Town Point Park, or at least near Town Point Park. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, Strawberry Moments. It's go time is at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. at Town Point Park. If you can put the deets in there, that'll be something that we can share with everybody. We can share with all the folks. I'm happy to do that if you can drop more of the details in there. Okay. Hey, you had it out. Make it a great day. Let's see it. Okay, so number 5, we gotta get through these because y'all know I gotta go to career day today at the middle school. So here we go. So let's talk about the Zapatistas in Mexico from 1990 to today, right? Zapatistas, like zapato, shoes, but tistas, Zapatistas, Zapatistas. So these were the indigenous rebels and activists. So what they did was they declared autonomy from the Mexico state. It was in the NAFTA area. Chiapas, Mexico. They did it because they wanted to fight for indigenous rights, dignity, and land. How they did it, they built alternative schools. They built clinics. They had democratic assemblies. And today, that looks like mutual aid. That looks like food co-ops. That looks like community councils, right? That's what that looks like. How these folks, again, the Zapatistas in Mexico, and that's happening now too. These folks weren't waiting for an invitation. They said, this is our land, this is ours, this is democracy, and it's going to be built by us, for us. They built those clinics, they built those schools, they built those councils. And if you want to look at what a community council looks like, go ahead and start looking at the Zapatistas, right? On their own. Autonomy is not, it ain't a buzzword. Autonomy is not a buzzword. It is action. And today it looks like food drives, community care, budgeting together, running for office, teaching our kids history. Because quite frankly, you don't have to be loud to be revolutionary. Just be consistent. You don't have to be loud to be revolutionary. Be consistent. Okay. Chiapas. Thank you. I knew I was saying that wrong. Chiapas. Thank you, Strawberry Moments. Absolutely. Jazz 802 said, I'm over here in Mount Vernon, Alexandria. As a mom, I'm trying to make connections. I'll be damned. Yeah. She says, if I don't understand something for my daughters, if I don't stand for something for my daughters, I would love to connect. Met fellow neighbor who said this, and I agree. Yes, she has. She's tried to integrate work and parenthood, integrated fathers and home life. And now we have to integrate civics life into the household. I wish I could put that on the screen. Jazz 802. We do have to integrate household because they forget. My day job, I'm a producer. I produce audio stories, and we've been doing, again, I think I've talked about this. We've been doing this project called Truth Be Told, Virginia. We're telling the stories of contemporary Black history. It can be found anywhere you find podcasts. Looky here. If I've learned anything from the stories that we've done over these seasons across the Commonwealth, is that my parents did a good job of making sure that I only had to see surface level things of the isms, right? What they did not do, and in their protection of things, and I'll even go a generation before that, my grandmother, the hurt that she had, she did not talk about what my great-granny did. I mean, I know the stories now, but they didn't talk about it. And they have protected us from history. And so now I'm looking at my son, and he can't find empathy for his great-grandma. because it's like, look at where I'm at now. We have to, I love that Jazz 802. We have to integrate civic life in the household. That does not mean indoctrinating people into your children, into just all of your beliefs. That means providing them with the opportunity to critical think, not just your children, your friends. Can we have a conversation where we all use our critical thinking? Because the most mature thing that anyone can do is come from a growth mindset and have the willingness to be able to change their mind, or to be able to say, you know what, empathy. I can see what you're saying. I don't agree with that, but I can see what you're saying. That has to be grown in smaller networks. It has to be grown in smaller networks. I absolutely, absolutely agree with you. All right, let me get to some of the comments and I'm gonna roll through. Oh, Nicole said, thank you for visiting Next Step Success. My 13-year-old son told me all about you. He loved it. Oh. Thank you. They were a great group. Sometimes you'll know with the teenagers, you don't know if they hear you or not. Okay, you just don't know. Awesome. Daniel said next week. Okay, great. We'll be helping the team with the purpose of their community. Talk about a concrete road. The teams with the purpose community garden is dope. Is dope. Get out there and help. Is that can you tell if that's on Chesapeake Bay Foundations, or where people can find that, so we can make sure that we share that? Okay. All right, let's go to Africa real quick. This one y'all gonna be familiar with. Y'all heard of Nelson Mandela, South Africa, 1990s. Y'all heard about that? Anti-apartheid leader, political prisoner, turned president. How they do that, right? He led South Africa from apartheid to democracy. He was released in 1990, then elected in 1994. This was in South Africa. All he wanted to do was achieve equity and representation for all. How did he do it? He did it through negotiation, through international pressure, through truth and reconciliation. Today, that looks like a push for healing, a push for policy reform. It looks like collaboration across differences. There are people who are feeling this who didn't think they were going to be feeling it. How do we do that? We understand, at least I'd like to say, I'm trying to understand that Nelson Mandela, he did more than just survive prison. He walked out ready to rebuild. He knew justice meant that we couldn't just flip the power, right? Because right now, it's not. What you gonna flip it to? Because I know y'all tired of all politicians. What you gonna flip it to? We couldn't just flip the power. We had to transform it. And there's he had to transform it. Okay, so he chose the long game. He negotiated with dignity. Okay, he never led with vengeance. That kind of leadership is very rare. It's so rare, but we can find a way to practice it by choosing unity with accountability within our own. And I'm not talking about the national stage. I'm talking about in your community. I'm talking about right in your space. Unity with accountability, equity with honesty, progress that doesn't just benefit the loudest voices. Okay? Don't get too big. I mean, it don't have to get too big here, right? Like for real. Like these are opportunities. Jen Strong said the internet is going to get these kids' minds, and that's not good stuff out there. Yeah, they are doom scrolling for bad stuff. That's true. But also, that's why I asked, who are your civic influencers? The last time we were here, tell me, and I think I probably need to do a video of like who your civic influencers are. And I know I keep coming back to, as I do this list, because I got to wrap up. I got to get to the school. Maybe I'll do two more and then we'll roll from there. But that's it. Like, who are they just as they could be a tool for the negative, it can be a tool for the positive. I'm talking about current events with young people because they saw something on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, but I'm having a very a much more in-depth conversation about current events because that tool that they're using to find out information, and then we're able to talk in a more candid way. When we think about the kids, let's think about there is an instance where there were some students in Hong Kong in 2019 and 2020, college and high school students. They fought against the erosion of civil liberties in Hong Kong. I thought my bell was ringing. In Hong Kong, they wanted to protect, and y'all look this up. This is just within the last 5 years. They wanted to protect democracy and autonomy from the mainland China. How did they do it? Listen to this. They were tech savvy, organized protests, anonymous action, and international media. They got a light shined on them. These kids was not playing. They were out here. Listen, hey, go Google this, okay? The students were out here in goggles using airdrop and umbrellas. They showed the world that digital protest is real. Okay. I'm saying this again. They didn't wait to become leaders. They led, they adapted, they documented, they organized fast with a purpose. And that's a blueprint. Go look up the Hong Kong student protest. That's a blueprint, because in today's democracy, defenders have got to be tech smart and truth bold. Do you hear me? That's who I'm looking for. Help me, because I don't know that I'm tech. So defenders have got to be tech smart and truth told. Technocracy is real. Protect your data, organize your people, stay 2 steps ahead. That's what we're looking for now. Because again, I'm going to say this one last time because I think it needs to be said. If we're going to defend this republic, we need people that are both tech smart and truth bold. Okay? Okay. Importante. Let me see if I got any in chat. Yeah. Oh, so Daniel, okay, got it. CBC, we're going to, that event isn't until the 14th. Christian says, right, what are we flipping it to? There isn't a cohesive vision down here other than Trump sucks. But that's exactly what I'm saying, is that let us not, and I'm choosing to have an understanding that even those people that were flipping for transformation didn't necessarily know exactly what it looked like. They moved. And yes, the people that we have right now are pretty terrible in a lot of ways, but like, how do you get in a space where you're able to have a conversation with the folks among you to decide to really think about what does transformation look like for you? Can you articulate what it is that you are seeing, and then coalesce that into folks that's like, okay, what does that look like for you? And then how we can do that right here. To be fair, like, there's more work to do in this local government politics than there is at the national level right now. Right? There's a heck of a lot more work in the hands of the everyday person. So flipping to what I am sure they had, look, this is not it. We need transformation, and we've got to come together, have a conversation, and figure out what transformation looks like. I love that Jen Strong just said this, which is why parents should educate. Here's the deal. Here's who I want to tell you about. Have y'all ever heard of, and oh my goodness, I'm talking to you on the mothers of Plaza de Mayo? You ever heard of them? The mothers of the Plaza de Mayo, in Argentina. In Argentina in 1977 all the way to now, these mothers, the mothers of children that were children were being disappeared because of a military dictatorship. And so what the moms did was they protested and demanded, they protested, they demanded answers. This happened in Buenos Aires. Their children were abducted and killed by the state. They held weekly marches. They wore symbols, like they wore these white scarves as public grief. That unify. I mean, like, you think about the red hat. When you see a red hat, I know that evokes a feeling. They wore these white scarves like public grief. And so what I'm saying to that is, do not hide your loss or your outrage. Don't hide it. Grief can be a rallying cry for justice. Those feelings are just as important. It has to be seen. These mothers, if I've ever seen in the world, or whole in the world, where they turned their emotion, which in this case for them was grief, into policy. They made their sorrows impossible to ignore. Week after week, they walked with these white scarves for the children that they lost to the state violence. They didn't have to scream. They just showed up and made the world watch. That's love in protest form. And so today, as we sort of honor our ancestors, however they were, because I do believe it's important to acknowledge who our ancestors were and acknowledge and honor whatever and honor them. All ancestors weren't great. I can tell you my great granddaddy was a son of a gun. Terrible story. Completely assimilated to the times. We have to honor our ancestors. We have to honor our babies and our neighbors by refusing to be quiet about injustice. Grief can be a guide. What does your grief look like externally? What does it look like? And how do you share it? That's not doom and gloom. Sometimes that collective, just seeing it together makes it, ooh. Lastly, I want to say, the last folks I want to talk about before I go is you. We've put in about a lot of different folks, but what about you? Before I do this, Kristen Wheeler said, you've been bringing up case studies that were all part of poli-sci curriculum at University of Minnesota. I was really inspired during that time. And I asked that if you are familiar, if you're familiar with these things, go back to that. How do you use your expertise to help us today? How do you use your emotions to help us today? I know that we want a hero, but we cannot wait for a hero. Policymakers are not heroes. It is a collective action of people. You are the heroes. And I don't want you to wait for anyone to make a move. It's not lame to say that you are the ones we've been waiting for. You are the protester. You are the policy maker. You are the PTA president. You are the poet. You are the precinct captain. And everything isn't about fame. It's about fortitude. I need you to show up how you can. Be it loud, be it soft, be strategic, be it joyful. Democracy isn't just defended in courtrooms and or campaigns. It is kept alive. And I keep saying democracy, and I'm just going to replace that with the republic. And I'm going to say this again. Our republic isn't just defended in courtrooms and in campaigns. It is kept alive in kitchens, in classrooms, in group chats, in coffee shops. You make the republic real. You do. It's you. And so for the everyday person with a stake in your community, your protest and who want to protest in some way or to strengthen democracy right now, where you are, because we know what we have is fragile, but it's ours to defend. I'm going to encourage you to vote. Like, I know that's a real part of this. Geez Louise, state elections are happening. I'm talking trifecta, okay? Here, like, state, organize, educate, document. Anne Frank's diary colors the way we see the Holocaust. Speak up, show up, rest, repeat. Because don't forget the rest part, right? That's you. That's my ask. And when you find examples of what's going well, and when you see historically how people have made moves, I ask that you just share that. That you give us the opportunity in your medium, give your community the opportunity to sort of hold in their hands the thing that you found to help you take the next step forward, because you are someone's inspiration. Someone is watching and waiting. Someone is going to see you and it's going to spark something inside of them. So that's my ask, y'all. That's what we got this morning. Like, I get it. Have your time. I have my time too, where I'm just like, what am I even doing? I was sitting on the house floor yesterday taking votes, and I think I turned to my seatmate and I was like, what am I even doing here? what am I even doing here? Yeah, it's okay. Excuse me, or it's not okay. Stop waiting. Stop waiting up. The politicians ain't gonna save y'all. They're not gonna have answers. All of them, at least. I'm choosing to call back to history to help me move forward. I am also looking for what's going to be that thing. I'll tell you, I'm really, really hung up on the white scarf. Like, what is our symbol? What is the symbol of this movement? Because seeing that can be a battle cry. Like seeing something, what is the visualization of what it is we're trying to do? That part, right? All right. Look, I gotta go. I gotta get to work. You probably do too. I don't even know why you're still here. You supposed to be gone. You supposed to be gone 15 minutes ago. It's supposed to go. Yeah. You're supposed to be gone 15 minutes ago, and I was supposed to be gone a long time ago. So with that, I'm going to say I am Jackie Glass. Oh, if you are a military veteran, Monday is the first Monday of the month. We meet up at Jesse's Place on Cromwell. Jesse Place. It's a morning dew for the veterans and you. 7:30 in the morning. So if you want to cry about 7:30 in the morning, you probably don't want to come. But if you want some community, you're gonna come. So we just come, veterans, have breakfast together, have conversation, encourage, the camaraderie that we're missing. If you know someone, please, first Mondays, Jesse's Place on Cromwell. Love to see you there. Check out the Community Bay Foundation. Brian has dropped a lot of folks. If he's on, I think on Facebook, he's dropped a lot of information about what they're doing, how they're doing. And if you want to get connected in that way, I believe it is just Google the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, some of the events they have going on. Really amazing way to put your feet put your hands in the ground, right? But until next time, I am Jackie Glass, Mama, Navy vet, certified doer, and the laced up legislator for the House of Delegates, 93rd District. I'll say this too. If you care and love the things that we do, this is my struggle. Please put us in your budget. Take a time I don't care if it's $5 a month. That is a part of showing support. It's the $2 a month, $100, or making a contribution to the work that we do. It's a huge part of it. And I'm really trying to, no money, no mission, grow that pot to be able to do more things. I want to do more convening, but I have to fund on my own. Or with your support. So you can go to delegatejackieglass.com. There's a donate button at the top. If you're on Instagram, there's a space there. But until next time, I really love and appreciate you for being here and taking the time to be with us. And I will catch you next Thursday or in these streets. Who knows? Be well. Bye.